Hello, and welcome to Once Upon a Time in Black History. I am your host, Tamara Shiloh, author, educator, and owner of the Multicultural Bookstore in Richmond, California, and Las Vegas, Nevada. You can also find us on my website at onceuponatimeInBlackHistory.com. Our shows are sponsored by the Multicultural Bookstore, and if you're interested in becoming a sponsor, please send me an email at tamarashiloh@gmail.com. Alrighty then, let's get this party started. Hello and welcome to Once Upon a Time in Black History. I am your host, Tamara Shiloh, and thanks for joining us. Today we're exploring how a curious girl from Baltimore helped shape the future of imaging on Earth and far beyond. Valerie Laverne Thomas was born February 8, 1943 in Baltimore, Maryland. As a kid, she was fascinated by how things worked, especially electronics. She loved science books and experiments, and she had the kind of curiosity that asked, "What if I try this myself?" This was during a time when girls, especially Black girls, were too often steered away from science. However, Valerie kept leaning in. That curiosity took her to Morgan State University, where she majored in physics, one of only a few women in her courses. Physics demanded patience, precision, and imagination, and Valerie brought all three. In 1964, degree in hand, she joined NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center. It was the early space age. Satellites were brand new storytellers orbiting the Earth, and Valerie stepped into a front row role translating those stories into data people could actually use. At Goddard, Valerie worked with satellite image processing, including data from the early Landsat missions. Think of Landsat as the world's longest running Earth observing program, capturing pictures of our planet to help us understand forests and farms, deserts and deltas, droughts and floods. She became known for making complex images legible, turning streams of numbers into maps and insights. She contributed to projects that linked satellite pictures with real-world decisions, agriculture planning, environmental monitoring, even disaster response. In an era before today's slick mapping apps, this was frontier work, demanding both technical fluency and vision. Her colleagues started relying on her judgment. She led teams, managed projects, and helped build the digital pipelines that moved images from space into the hands of scientists, policymakers, and educators. Then came the moment most people know her for. In the mid 1970s, Valerie visited a science exhibit that demonstrated concave mirrors. These are curved mirrors that can create a startling optical effect, a real looking three-dimensional image that appears to hover in space. It wasn't a flat reflection anymore. It was an optical illusion your eyes insisted was real. Valerie walked out thinking, could this be engineered into a device? Something practical? Back at NASA, she set up experiments with lenses, mirrors, and light. After careful testing, she designed a system that captures an image and recreates it using paired concave mirrors so the viewer sees a 3D-like image in space. In 1980, she secured U.S. patent 4229761 for the illusion transmitter. Now, in plain English, it's a way to transmit images that appear as lifelike 3D visuals without bulky headsets or special glasses. Why does this matter? Imagine a surgeon viewing a realistic 3D image of an organ during a procedure, or engineers inspecting a part as if it's physically present. The illusion transmitter pointed to a world where visuals aren't just pictures on a screen. They're three-dimensional experiences. Valerie's device was early proof that optics plus ingenuity could change how we see and share information. Valerie's impact at NASA wasn't limited to one invention. She took on management and leadership roles, contributed to data systems that supported space science, and helped advance network research collaborations in an era when digital connectivity was still taking shape. As a Black woman in a predominantly white male environment, she also became a quiet trailblazer. Her expertise opened doors. Her mentorship kept them open for others. She earned multiple NASA awards and the respect of teams who saw day to day what excellence in engineering leadership looks like. Valerie retired from NASA in 1995, but retired is a technicality. She has been a speaker, mentor, and STEM advocate, especially for girls and students of color who don't always see themselves in science. She visits classrooms, appears in books and interviews, and says by example what many students need to hear. You belong here. Your ideas matter. Your curiosity can change the world. Her story has become a staple in Black History Month programs and STEM showcases. But it isn't just a February story. It's a now story about seeing possibility where others see limits, and about using science to give people a new way to look at reality itself. So, the next time a surprising optical effect makes you lean closer, remember Valerie Thomas. She looked closer too, and then she built something the world hadn't seen. I'm your host, Tamara Shiloh, and thanks for spending a few minutes with Once Upon a Time in Black History. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with someone who loves science and story. And keep looking closer. Thank you for tuning in to Once Upon a Time in Black History. For more information on this topic and others, visit the Multicultural Bookstore at multiculturalbookstore.com. And again, if you want to advertise in our podcast for a mere $25, please contact me at tamarashiloh@gmail.com. See you next time.